Hey guys, it's Vena here from the Spiritual Lounge. Today is Friday the 17th. Oh my goodness. We are chugging along. Listen, today is really, honestly, I know I say this sometimes, and it's like a bold faced lie when I say, oh, it's not going to be a long video, and then it ends up being like an hour long, okay? Today, I'm telling the truth. It's going to be a short one. Um, but I was really led to come on here to kind of reinforce some things. Typically, I like to do the mix of spiritual um, and political, what's and current news, what's going on in the world. And the reason I mix it because honestly, life is spiritual. Okay, life is spiritual. You cannot have one without the other. Behind all this craziness going on, behind all this day to day life living, lifing, is a spiritual aspect to it. So that is why I can't, it's not mutually exclusive, right? Um, Life is spiritual. Whether you think of it that way or not, it is. And when I say spiritual, I mean we are of the spiritual essence. Okay? And we get lost in that this whole material thing, looking at things from this one dimension, right? The 3D dimension. But in actuality, there's so much going on behind the scenes. And we have to always keep that in the back of our heads, okay? There are things going on because they need to, because they have to balance energies out. Karma must be paid, and we want karma to be paid, okay? And karma must be resolved, okay? We want karma to be resolved. We want balanced energies. It's so important to us. Before we come here, it's part of the reason why we come. We come to experience um, a whole bunch of things. We come to live in this cramped in existence, okay? But it's very important to us to resolve our karmic debts. And so that is what's going on throughout the world, okay? And that is why I tell you guys all the time observe, but don't absorb, okay? And because not everything that's going on is for us, it's just not. And it's not our weight to carry, okay? We're not all water boys or caddies on a golf court. Golf, what do you call those? Golf course? You can tell I don't play golf. Um, yeah, we're not, that's not our function to carry the weight of the world. It's just not. So remember that while you're feeling compassionate and love and heartbreak at some things, and because I certainly do, I definitely do, but I have to keep it in perspective and know that the pulse of divine love, okay, that runs throughout existence, that maintains existence, it's doing its thing. It is doing its thing for every single soul here. And to us, sometimes it looks horrible, but it's funny. You look at these horrible people now, right? And you say, God, I can't wait till they get theirs. Ugh. But remember, there have been many acts committed in the past from souls, from people, living an earthly existence, and they're getting some of theirs now. Okay? They're reaping what they've sowed now. And we're viewing it, feeling sorry for them and heartbroken for them. And yet, if we could see the full picture of what they are agreeing to resolve and pay back, we would understand more. And we would still have compassion, but we would have understandable compassion for them courageously fulfilling their karma and their karmic obligations. Okay? So we have to keep it in a spiritual perspective, because if you keep it in a human perspective, from a human standpoint, from a human viewpoint, right? It's it'll just blow your mind. It'll just, like my husband tells me a lot of times. He's got this one friend that just will not stop talking, and my husband said he busts my head wide open. And the funny thing is, sometimes my husband can get a little chatty too. You know what I'm saying? And he busts my head wide open. There are times when I just want to like literally, like just zone the heck out. But anyway, okay, so I wanted to say that, um, and I'm going to go into a few things really, really quickly, but then I want to get to the heart of why I was led to speak today. In the previous video that I just did, I told you that the basically the Republican karmic rubber band has reached its stretching point and it's snapping back. It's inevitable. It's happening. It's kind of been happening, but we're going to see more and more of this. And some examples of that. And by the way, someone had said, they were having a hard time with seeing the rubber band snap back, because they said, what if the rubber band breaks? Okay, so then I gave them the image of the boomerang, and that worked for them. So hopefully that'll work for others too. The boomerang, you send it out, whoop, 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 and then it comes back eventually. And it always comes back. Okay? So Don the Con said that he's cutting Democratic programs, right? Uh, okay, and he just think like that's funny and great and super cool, and we're sticking it to the Dems. The problem is a study was done. 79% of those programs that he's calling Democratic programs, 79% of them are actually used in red states by those who identify as Republicans. Okay? Case in point, the SNAP benefits, from what I understand, they are going to be severely limited because of this big, ugly, beautiful bill that they just passed. Starting November, these people are going to get a humongous wake up call. Okay? And it's going to affect the red states the most. Okay? There's all kind, I can't even list them here. There's all kind of now limitations and reductions in those benefits starting November. Okay? So that's one snapback. All right? Mitch McConnell had a very ugly, embarrassing fall yesterday at the Capitol, and it wasn't pretty. It really wasn't, and it just shows you his super decline. I don't know if you guys remember me talking about, we're gonna have like a twofer, as far as deaths go. One in which we consider good passing, another not so good. So just keep that in mind. That's definitely coming up. There was an app that the Charlie Kirk fans founded to dox people who were, spoke out against Charlie Kirk, et cetera, et cetera. Now, so they did that nefariously to dox these people. Well, they got hacked, and they themselves got doxxed. Okay, so joke is truly on them. Another example of the karmic snapback. Those young Republicans who are not so young, because some of them are in their like late 30s, um, who had a super group chat about hating Jews, gas chamber this, and Democrats that, liberals this, and just talking all kind of ugly craziness. They were exposed with full identities. As a matter of fact, TikTok is having a blast putting these people on blast. It's hilarious. Down to their actual names, their ages, and everything, okay? So, another example of the snapback. Uh, House Republicans, all of them in the House, okay, have left Washington, okay? Um, the Senate is there in Washington, but House Republicans have all left, which shows you that they're extremely unserious about negotiating or anything like that. Marjorie Taylor Greene has come out and just exposed them for the frauds that they are. We don't trust Marjorie, so stop telling me, please, that it's annoying. It really isn't. We don't trust Marjorie as far as we can throw her. However, she is the enemy of our enemy. Okay? And she is doing the right thing at this point in time. She is she's calling a spade a spade. Okay? She can't be trusted. I don't like her ideology. I don't like her persona. She's a nasty piece of work. However, she is exposing our party for the frauds that they are. And to the point where she admitted she's actually gotten threats now. That's how bad she's exposing them. She's actually, for once, telling the truth. Why is she doing this? Who knows? Who cares? Divine love at work. Okay? And I literally just saw an orb crossover. Um, Divine love at work doing its thing. No, she can't be trusted. Never have trusted her and never will be able to trust her. She's a nasty piece of work. But we'll take our wins when we can get them. Okay? Um, People have already gotten notice about their ACA, Affordable Care Act, which is one of the main reasons Dems are holding out on signing this effed up bill, is because the Affordable Care Act recipients, the subsidies will be pulled thanks to Republicans, and their monthly prices or rates will just skyrocket. Okay, the first state to send out notices, okay, was Idaho, red state. Um, and I forget who actually showed the paperwork, but they did a screenshot of paperwork that was sent to them. This couple was paying $51 a month because of the subsidies, okay? They were notified that because of this bill, all right, their price now, their amount they have to pay each month is going to go up to $2,300. The exact amount was $2,331 from $51. So that is why one of the main reasons Democrats are fighting for this. Um, but Idaho sent out its first letters, red state, SNAPBACK, another example. Um, okay, I got a major, I'll just say, image of, because all of you are concerned about the shutdown. I got a major flash of Mike Johnson having to return to the House in what is basically an emergency. There's going to be some type of emergency situation where he is going to return to the House and have the members return to the House. Okay? I know that they're saying, yeah, it's going to last through November. I don't see that. I could be very wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't see that. I see an emergency bringing them back soon, and they're going to somehow blame it. They're going to phrase it in such a way where it's like the Democrats' fault, or they're doing it because they're a great guy. Whatever. Who cares how they're going to lie anyway? So, and we know that. But I just see some type of emergency situation. A lot of people have asked about Letitia James and her situation. What I see as far as Letitia James, which is a little bit different from James Comey. James Comey has a lot of information, I told you guys. And so his situation is going to be dissolved. I don't even see it going through any type of real court system. Okay. He has some information and he's basically going to somehow get out of his indictment. Okay, Letitia James won't be as fortunate as that. I see her having to go through some of this court proceedings that are coming up. However, I see she will ultimately win. She will be successful. Okay, hers is just going to be along a different vein than his. Okay. Um, People are asking about the Voting Rights Act um, that the Supreme Court is currently hearing oral arguments on. And I saw a lot of creators saying, oh, they're going to gut it, and this and that, and this and that. I'm actually seeing something a little bit differently. And what I see is that although it will strike at, it seems like one key provision of it, it still will remain somewhat intact. So it's not like they're going to bring a sledgehammer to it. Okay? I just kind of don't see that. I think that it will basically remain basically intact. Because I know that's concerning for a lot of people, but they really can't stop people from voting like you think that they can, and they know that. Now, I want to kind of talk about what I've been kind of alluding to the last couple of videos is that the violence that's coming up. I've kind of been prepping you guys months in advance, about. I told you MAGA's going to turn on MAGA, MAGA violence against MAGA. And one of the things that I saw is one of the reasons why all of the House members have left Washington, all the Republican House members have left Washington, D.C., is because they know that they have stoked the hornet's nest, okay? And they know that it's getting ugly for them. And there's going to be an increase in violence, quite a bit, against them. Okay? They're not stupid. While they sit up there and lie to our face, they know good and well what they're doing is highly unpopular, and it's just not right, and it's just not good, and they're trying to barrel through it. But the problem is that it's come basically to an end for that, and it's going to be like an eruption type of end. There's going to be some big stuff going on. Um, and unfortunately, I can't really say some of the things that I specifically get because then it looks like too much of how the hell do you know that? And I'm not trying to have no one knocking at my door. And I only give stuff that they allow me to give. But I can say in general, just sit back, sort of, get your popcorn ready and just let things happen the way they need to happen. The universe knows what it's doing. And if it needs to use violence sometimes to obtain its objectives, then that's what it will do. Remember, I've told you guys a gazillion times love doesn't always come pretty. Love has to come in the way that we need to see it, right? In the way we've got to see it and digest it, um, understand it, etc. And it's given us chance after chance after chance after chance, and we just didn't get it. We're not getting it. And so it will use whatever method means that it needs to. So, and like I just told you guys, not everything is ours to carry, okay? So allow things to happen, in the sense of be a compassionate observer. Okay. Um, but I actually, to be honest with you, I've gotten such a surge within the last few days of an incredible rightness of what is going on now. And I know that sounds strange because Don the Con is doing some crazy stuff. There's some crazy stuff happening out there. But as I intuitively observe, I can just see things, the pieces of the puzzle actually clicking into place in the right way. Okay? And there are things that need to happen, that are going to happen, okay, that aren't pretty, but the outcome will be pretty. And it will be all worth it. Okay? And in my previous the video right before this one, I kind of broke down why we come here and why we experience certain things and why we chose this time period to come. And I would advise you to go back and just listen to that again, just as kind of reinforcement, because that was straight up from, I'll say the other side, which I hate saying that, but basically it was. So, and as far as the protests, the No Kings protest, which Republicans have called the hate rally, imagine them, um, who have shown nothing but disdain for America and Americans and American um, ideology, right? Calling this No Kings rally a hate rally. They've shown nothing but disdain for all of us. It's so beyond a black white or black and brown or white and brown issue. It's so beyond that now, right? It's basically like a integrity or no integrity situation in this country. You either have spiritual integrity, you gravitate towards what is truly good, okay? And those are principles, okay? Embracing goodness, or no integrity, right? Um, and their total embracement of one guy, one man. Okay, it's nuts. But anyway, there will be pockets of violence I told you guys about. However, this is so meant to happen. It is divinely ordained. It truly is. Okay? It just truly is. And there's going to be some incidents, but in the long run, it's you will understand why these type of things need to be happening. Okay. I also said in the previous video that the next date I was given was the 23rd, 18th and the 23rd, but more so the 23rd. Okay, which is interesting because the rally, the protests are on the 18th, but I was given the 23rd, so we'll just see what's going to happen on that day. I'll be back on before that for sure. So anyway, guys, like I said, this is a quick one. Remember, we are living our individual lives, okay? Each and every one of us, despite all this madness around us, the most important thing for us is to live our individual lives with integrity and live it the best and the highest way we know how, and which is different for each and every person, okay? Spirit doesn't really require much from us. It truly doesn't. And I'm going to end on this, and I put this in my first book at the very end of the book. And one of the things that I was told, because I asked, after seeing all this wonderful stuff during my experience, I asked, like, how should I live? I truly needed and wanted to know, how should I live? Like, I saw this fantastic stuff, this beauty, this love, this pulse of love. I saw the angelic realm. I saw so much. And I truly wanted, like, I'm thinking, like I should be like a saint, right? Which, for me, it was going to be impossible, But anyway, I asked anyway, and I was told, live, just live. Literally, just live. Imagine that. Live the best way I knew how at each moment. No more is required of us. No more. Embrace that spark of love within you, however you feel it. Just embrace it. Put yourself at its altar inside of you. Embrace it and accept it. And let it peter out in its own way, and it will. Just embrace and accept it. All right, guys, so thanks for tuning in, and We will talk again soon. Take care.